Alrighty, fellas, let's have a look at the second Saturday night game. At the Gabba, it's the Brisbane Lions versus the Port Adelaide Power. Desmond Van Bus.
This is my most exciting game of the week. This is the Des game of the week, I think, because I like Brisbane at the Gabba.
He's got a bit of chocolates on every single game, doesn't he?
He is. This is my such and such of the week. This is the week too.
That's how I get excited for the games. How I get excited for the footy.
No, we love.
I do love Brisbane at the Gabba. I do love them at the Gabba. And after they whooped Essendon, that was a couple of weeks ago, but they're back. They're in a bit of form at the Gabba. That's what I like to see. But I've still got Port. I know they had that little bit of a stumble, and it was weeks ago now against West Coast, but they've given me nothing to not back against them. They've given me nothing to hate on. So I think Port 1-39 at $1.72. I'd be careful. I know that's tasty odds, but because Brisbane could run over them here like they did last year. I've still got that memory in my mind when they beat them. What was it? 40, 50 points.
Something stupid like
they just rolled them, and that could happen. And I secretly hope it does. But for my tip,
secretly
Port 1-39.
Biased.
Yeah.
Just a biased.
Port 1-39. They're just playing such good footy, and Brisbane have shown us that when the chips are down, I know they got that goal after the siren, but that was against Collingwood. Like when the team puts a bit of pump, bit of pressure on them, they do crumble sometimes.
Well, let me add to that by throwing a few names at you. So no Darcy Gardner, no Mitch Robinson for this week. Very likely no Dan McStay. Possibly no Harris Andrews.
That's tough.
I haven't even got to the big one. No Lockie Neale.
That's tough.
No Lockie Neale.
I think Gardner's the big one. This is Gardner. No one's cleaning the garden. Who's doing what's happened to the daisies? What's happened to the roses?
I'm going to kick him in the head, I swear to
That's
God.
one of the worst jokes you've ever seen.
Possibly big beast mode Matheson back in the team.
Yep, and it's not going to make a
big
damn
mode.
lick of difference.
Nah,
I'm actually going to, this was actually my lock prior to you getting me way too excited about Hawthorn. So I'm also going to lock this one up. I'm going double bag.
Oh, double locker.
The double dirty dipper lock.
Because Porsche's just too good a value in this game. And even without mentioning all the rest of them, it's going to be hard enough without Lockie Neale, let alone, that's a murderer's row of an injury list.
Yeah.
Porsche's in great form at the moment. I don't see any way the Lions get up here, to be honest with you.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think I went 1-39, but I feel like Port 25 plus is probably the safer one for mine. Port just looks so assured. They're not arrogant in the way they're playing. They're just going about what they know how to do. And they're just murdering blokes as they're doing it. It's unbelievable. They're a scary team at the minute. Yeah. This is a big test here because I think the short break and travelling to Brisbane combined together, I think could be a little bit of a test just to test the metal a little. But I don't see them stumbling on this one. They're just going to saw through.
No. Not against Brisbane's Neale team.
Well, they like it up in Brisbane. We know this. They were top of the table the entire year last year, so we know they like it up there. Yep. But no, they're. Yep. The short break in particular might be the only thing that tests them a bit. Amon and Houston in particular have just been huge, and they get no ramps outside of Alberton. Amon and Houston, especially not in Victoria. Wouldn't know what they look like.
And Houston's one of the best kicks in the comp.
Yeah.
I just got called by the Rwandan Sports Bet account. Port are paying $3.30 for 25 plus. If that tickles your fancy, if you're a Port supporter, you got to get on that. But just
money for jam.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that Rwandan Sports Bet. I'll hang that one up.
Money for jam.
Right,
what I am looking forward to in this game from a Brisbane standpoint, Dev Robertson should get big midfield minutes now, and Klug has been dominating the last few weeks.
Klug has been unreal. And
it's going to be good to see a few of those kids and see if they can lift. Again, we think Brisbane's going to get smashed. But prove us wrong.
I'd love it. I would love them to prove me wrong. Every time I tip Port, and I have every game this year, I want all the teams to prove me wrong. I'd love Port to be the North Melbourne of the competition.
As I said last week, we just want good football. That's all we want.
Unless it's from Port. And I still don't like Port playing well.
We're not biased.
Port, unreal, to be honest. This is the most I've ever liked Port. So
take that.
And I like individual players. Individual players like Alir.
Yeah, all Australian backline at the minute.
Not according to the armchair experts, mate. Not us, by the way.
He's the best defender in the AFL so far in 2021. I'm calling that out now.
Huge for mine.
And if you really don't want to call him that, he's easily the best recruit.
Hey, fun facts. I don't know if I told you this last week, but on my plane home from the Gold Coast, shout out, and this is a legitimate trip. Zach Butters was on my plane. I'm looking. I'm going. Who is that guy with the cut fringe and like the bowl cut?
Did you not think to get an interview?
Nah, he was
boneheaded fool.
Because his mum was like yelling at him and stuff. So I felt
interview his mum.
Nah, his mum was like screaming like.
No one's ever had an interview with Zach Butters' mum.
Come along, Port.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I couldn't do it. I was like, oh man. Like I went up to Cody Simpson that week and was talking to Cody Simpson. Shout out to he's a good bloke. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go up to Zach Butter's mum. So I've gone to the superstar with 3 million Instagram followers, but Zach Butter's mum, she was scary as dude.
Scary.
She was yelling and shit.
Listen,
like, it was scary
anyone that just the phrase "excuse me, Mrs. Butters," you'd have been fine. You'd have been fine.
Nah, she was yelling at Zach, and he had a weird looking haircut going on. So, but good player.
Baby.
I'm sad he's out.
Baby ass. Anyways, let's move on. Let me get some bets out the road. Carl Amon, 20 plus touches. And you get on that train as long as you can, up until Riley Bonner comes back.
Yep.
Then when I think Bonner comes back, those touches drop a bit. But Carl Amon, 20 plus. Boak, 25. Stinky McCarthy, anytime goal.
Oh, Linky Stinky.
I don't like that.
And Stephen Motlop, anytime goal.
I've had enough of Stinky. I don't like him. He ruins my multis every single
He got
week.
up last week.
Nah, I just had enough of it though.
He got up last week.
He won't do anything.
That's paying about $5 there for that.
Won't do jack this week. I like Port at the line. Set at 4.5 at the moment. Easy.
That's not bad.
And a Robbie Gray goal. Just about good for it every week.
I think he is, yeah. And he seems to be sitting at like $1.20. Oh, sorry, apologies. But he seems to be sitting about $1.25 every week, and we love that.